Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Elder Scrolls Lore. Today we're going to be talking about the Direnni Hegemony. Now before we get started, I'd like to make a little bit of a shout out to HP Productions. His channel is his link to his channel is on my channel, as well as Imperial Knowledges. That's how I found him. He's a really nice guy. He does awesome lore stuff about the books and the books of Skyrim as well, and he does other things as well. I've seen the Doom video I watched, a couple things with Fallout. Great video, great guy, really nice. Recommend you check out his channel. But then again, he also kind of stemmed the same way I did from Imperial Knowledge, where we kind of, came together. Imperial Knowledge helped us both get together and both boost our channels. But he's a super nice guy, and I recommend you guys look at his videos if you don't already, which I'm sure most of you already do. But regardless, let's get into this video. We got a lot to cover today. The Direnni Hegemony was crazy. Just to start out with, I loved researching this. Was actually quite a bit of a shock to me. So, the Direnni Hegemony was an early elven kingdom that was established in High Rock in 355 of the First Era. The Hegemony gained its namesake due to the massive significance of the ruling Direnni clan. They controlled the kingdom from their stronghold on the Isle of Belfiria. Don't know if I'm saying that right still, because the first video for the Direnni hasn't come out yet, but that's what it is. That's what I'm going with. And the Direnni Tower. It would collapse not too long, though, in the year 498 of the First Era, with the rapid growth of the Breton population in High Rock. The Hegemony's authority was mostly decentralized, with sworn vassals being given a significant amount of control. The kingdom was also widely feudalistic, and would be copied later by the Breton families of power. Now, if you don't know what feudalism is, because not all of you are history nerds like me, it's basically there's a king or a ruling faction, and then they give other lords or dukes, barons, etc. power, and then those people, those lords, would then give power to knights or soldiers, and so on, and then they would give power to people to then work for them, and then the latter, you pay tribute to each, and etc. I realize that I'm a history nerd, so just, yeah. Contrary to popular belief, though, the High Elves did not enslave the humans of High Rock. The Nedic peoples were actually placed in a lower social caste in society. This caste and low social standing did, however, lead to many being forced into servitude and working under their elven lords. The Direnni had an unusual practice, though. They would often compete to collect the most attractive human concubines. This subsequently would lead to their own downfall by contributing to the massive growth of the Breton population, which is hilarious to me. While some sources place Ryland Direnni as the contributor to the Direnni's rise to power, who bought and claimed Belfiria and conquered High Rock in the 5th century of the First Era, the Direnni's influence dates back to the Merethic era, when the Cygnus, Cygnus? Let's go with Cygnus Direnni discovered the Adamantine Tower. Since then, their clan would become a prominent noble family of High Rock. In 355 of the First Era, the Direnni managed to consolidate all other noble families under their rule through questionable political maneuvers. Gotta turn the page real quick. I take written notes. You should know this by now. For years, the Elves of High Rock were a large economic and military power to hold the Nords of Skyrim and the Elysians of Cyrodiil at bay. The Elven lands remained safe until 240 of the First Era, when King Vraj invaded and annexed a majority of the province into the Nordic Empire. However, by 358 of the First Era, 3 years after the Elves united under the Direnni clan, the new hegemony would push back against the Nords in the Reach. The Elves miraculously defeated the combined might of the Nords and the Elysian Empire. In 369 of the First Era, Nord High King Borjas died, and the bloody War of Succession erupted. All outside territories for the Nordic Empire were abandoned. It's doing so well, and I'm messing up. The Hegemony took this advantage and reclaimed all the land they had lost. By 401 of the First Era, the Nords were completely removed from High Rock, and all influence was eliminated. While Skyrim was still in conflict and Hammerfell questionable, the Hegemony invaded its neighbors and conquered all territories from Markarth to Elenhir. But the rivalry with Skyrim was not. But the rivalry with Skyrim was not over. In the time between 461 and 477 of the First Era, Hog Merkiller and the Hegemony came into open conflict with no initial victor. However, by 477 of the First Era, the Hegemony was at its peak of power. At this time, the Hegemony would benefit greatly from the mass displacement of Aleads coming into their lands. They would begin to arrive in 361 of the First Era and greatly bolster the Hegemony's military. In 478 of the First Era, the Alesians would be embarrassed by their defeat to Rizlov Lyric's Clovian revolts, and Ryland Direnni used this defeat as a sign that the empire was greatly weakening. He outlawed the Alesian reform, which was influencing his Breton citizens. Following this, Ryland would launch attacks on the border, but the Alesians would respond by attacking back, and this would lead to the Battle of Glenumbra Moors in 482 of the First Era. In a surprising move, though, Hoag Merkiller of Skyrim would side with the Hegemony, and the Alesians would be soundly defeated, but it was at a horrible cost. The Direnni's military was actually decimated as well, and they were unable to maintain its holdings throughout the kingdom. Ysmir Wolfhearth began to reconquer the Reach, and Breton nobility were beginning to seize power across High Rock. In 498 of the First Era, the Hegemony collapsed and Elven sovereignty began to diminish towards Balfiria. A few heavily fortified bastions would hold out, but would collapse due to an uprising of Reachmen, and they would fall. Bretons were able to rise to power through widespread political maneuvering and rebellions in the year 500 of the First Era. The already collapsed hegemony and the dwindling power of the Elven lords were unable to prevent this. The Bretons would later justify their rise to power by vilifying the elves, causing the Direnni to isolate themselves on Balfiria. This led to the formation of myths, and the rebellions and political maneuverings of the Bretons would soon be forgotten. In 907 of the First Era, the Redguards tried to invade Balfiria, but were foiled by the Direnni's superior magical abilities. And that is all we have. The Hegemony is no more, and the quick rise of the Hegemony fell just as quick. Now, this is actually very fascinating because I was very unfamiliar about this topic, and it was amazing to kind of go through it and learn about this. I first did the video on the Bloodline, and now I'm doing it on the Hegemony, and it was absolutely fascinating. I'm very happy that someone recommended to do the Direnni, wanted more on the Direnni. I don't regret it at all. Some future videos that are coming from recommendations for you guys, so you know what's coming up soon. I'm going to be doing the Tribunal soon, the College of Whispers and the Synoid. I think I'm saying that right. The College of Winterhold, and I'm going to be doing a kind of a question video if that makes sense. I want to do a video of how Malag Bal captured the Imperial City. That was also recommended as well. And that is basically what's going to be on the next few upcoming videos, is the next five or so videos, maybe, potentially. We'll see how much information I get for each topic. I only say that because of the College of Whispers and the Synoid. They were recommended in the same comment. Know nothing about those, so I don't know if they're similar or not. So that might be either one video or two videos. I'm not really positive yet. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please like and subscribe. That always helps. And if you have any recommendations on future topics, I am now going to be, actually as of this moment, I am done with school, and so for the summer, so I'm going to be able to be taking recommendations more, and I'm not going to be relying solely on the videos I already have recorded and done that were based off of things I was curious about. So I'm going to be doing a lot more recommendations, and I'm able to do a lot more recommendations now. So all five of those topics that I just listed were all recommendations. I plan on covering all of those. So if you guys have any, please let me know. I'd be glad to cover them. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.